Alright, the last demo that I'm going to do is the Apple logo demo, and for this one it's probably going to be mostly using the pen tool. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So hotkey P will get my pen tool. Let me make sure. Okay, there we go, it worked that time. Going to zoom in. Again, I like to pick points that are either at the base of a valley or at the top of a hill. So perhaps we can just start at the top of the apple here. Maybe that's a good place to start. If I hold shift, it'll also lock my anchor points in at like 45 degrees, so I can make a nice like straight and equal anchor point with handles that are going in complete opposite directions. So I'm going to let go of that. I'm now coming up to the top of the hill, and I'm starting to pull handles in the direction of the curve. Shift X so I can stay on the line. I'm going to start to draw here. It's not too bad. Again, putting anchor points at the tops of hills and at the bottoms of valleys. We'll modify that one in just a little bit. Sometimes you just have to make all of your moves first, and then you can come back and clean it up afterwards. In this case, I'm going to break my handle, so I'm going to now pull it down into this bite shape. They probably just took a circle and used the shape builder and just cut straight through there. In this case though, I'm just going to pen tool it. Something like that. And go right to that tip. And again, because I'm going to change directions, I have to hold Alt and break that handle. Then have the handle fly in the direction of the curve. Again, the handles kind of create momentum for the line. They give an indication where the line will actually go. So that hits that part of the curve. And then again, to close the shape and make it a full piece, the pen tool should create a little 0 next to it. That will indicate that you're closing. And then you click and also drag the handle back. And you'll notice that there's going to be a right place to stop depending on how far you pulled the handle out on the opposite side. So I'll let go there. It's a good idea, like once you finish a drawing, to transfer it from stroke to fill so you can see if it's close. And if I zoom in here, you can see there's definitely room for improvement. Like maybe I can pull this a little bit further out. Maybe if I pull this handle back a little bit, it gets more of that proper shape of the apple. Maybe this handle needs to kind of lift a little bit. So you can do these micro adjustments and kind of tune your drawing just to make it as close to the original as possible. The designers that put this together definitely cared about it and spent a lot of time doing it. So when we practice by copying, we're respecting them and the work that they do. That's not a bad thing to cultivate in yourself as a young designer. I'd say that's pretty good. Control 0 gets me in the complete fill. I'm going to zoom in now, and I don't know why I did that. And let's go ahead and make this last shape. So I could use the shape builder tool for this, and perhaps we should just do that. So Shift Alt. Let's go Shift X. That's weird. What happened to my circle? Control Y. Is it still there? Nope. I'm going to draw a circle out. Shift X, stroke to fill. I can also drop my point size down like really small just so I can see either where it barely is to kind of like find this perfect radius or curve. So I'm going to keep growing that circle out until it looks like it's just the right size. I think probably somewhere around there is not bad. I'm going to zoom out. I'll hold Alt to make a copy, get a rough position there, and now I'm just going to use my selection tool and just try to find that appropriate size. It's interesting though, it almost seems like it's a little bit of a smaller circle. It's not the same circle. Probably somewhere around there. Okay. So I think that's good enough for me. I'm going to go Shift X. I've got two black circles. I'm going to go, they're both selected. I can now use my Shape Builder tool, which is right here actually, underneath the Live Paint. So you can click on it, or you can go Shift M. And then what we're going to do is we want to leave the leaf shape, but we want to get rid of those two circles. So I'm going to hold Alt, click, click on the parts I don't want, and there you go, Apple logo. Zooming out, I can now select all these, pull them down, and then inspect for closeness. You can see the Nike logo is really kind of suffering probably the most because of the typeface. So I could spend a little bit more time and find something that actually kerned out a little better. Then I could also find those registration marks that might make it feel a little bit more real. There you go. There's our 3 demos, Target, Nike, and Apple. This one being the Apple demo. Thank you.